Long ago, on the way home from school, I saw an elderly woman with 2 shopping bags stopping to rest every few steps. I offered to help her. "How far are you going?" I asked. "Not far, just down the street." We walked a few blocks. My arms were tired, but I was too proud to rest. Every so often, I asked if we were getting closer. Each time she answered, "Not much farther, just down the street." Finally, she turned into a side street. "Is this the block?" "Not far, just down the street." We plodded a few more blocks. My fingers were aching and numb at the same time. Finally, she led me into an apartment building. "What floor are we going to?" "Not far, just upstairs." At each floor, I asked her if this was the one she lived on. By the time we reached her 5th-floor apartment, I had been not farred into exhaustion. Jesus in today's gospel seems to have something in common with that woman. The reign of God is at hand. Well, he said that 2,000 years ago, and it still seems to be a long way off. Something else Jesus says complicates matters. This is the time of fulfillment. Is he referring to his own time, or to any time we hear his words? Why say this is the time of fulfillment, and then that it's still on the way? So where is it? If it's already here, we should be able to recognize it. Well, the reason we can't recognize it leads to the 3rd thing Jesus says. Reform your lives and believe in the good news. The reason we don't see the reign of God is that our lives need reforming. The reign of God is the fullness of God's presence with us, resulting in the forgiveness of sins, the establishment of just relationships among people, the sanctification of all creation as an offering to our Creator. Can we see signs of that? The clearest presence of the reign of God is Jesus, God's reign made flesh. The time of fulfillment has come is another way of saying, "Here I am." But are we too late? Have we missed the chance to experience the reign of God? Must we wait till the end of time? No, because God's reign present in Jesus is carried on through the church, sinful, weak, and divided though it be. In the community of men and women struggling to be faithful to Christ, sharing God's love with friend, foe, and stranger, there is the reign of God, even if not in its fullness. And the reign of God is not confined to the church. There are signs of that reign throughout the world. The breaking of shackles that bind the bodies, minds, and spirits of men and women, the advance of knowledge, the work of artists, and the growth of solidarity among nations, cultures, and religions of the world are all signs that God's reign is here, that the world is growing toward the vocation God has set for it. The symbol of all this, our truest experience of God's reign, is the Eucharist. When we share the body of Christ, we are in the reign of God, united with all Christ's people in all times and climes. I often miss that, which is why Jesus calls me to reform my life, to make it a sign of God's reign. Living a reformed life will clear my eyes, heart, and soul to see God's reign in the Eucharist and in all it stands for, Jesus, the church, the world. This is the time of fulfillment. The reign of God is at hand. Let us reform our lives so that we may see it present and coming.